everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Smackdown review here on Wrestling with Regret. My name is Alex, your self-proclaimed Queen of the Ring, and this week's episode of Smackdown was the post-Wrestlemania episode. So were there any title changes? What exactly were the results? Well, let's just jump into it. So we kick off the show with the new Universal Champion, Braun Strowman, and he comes out and he talks about his successful win at WrestleMania against Goldberg. But luckily for us, Shinsuke Nakamura arrives and interrupts him and saves the day, or at least this segment. Nakamura then says he deserves an opportunity for the Universal title because the last time he was in the ring with Braun Strowman, he defeated Strowman. Strowman then agrees to a match and says that later tonight he will get these hands. So the main event, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Braun Strowman for the Universal title. Cesaro sneaks into the ring, tries to attack Strowman. Strowman pushes Cesaro out of the ring, and then Nakamura and Cesaro attack Braun Strowman. They walk away. Maybe Shinsuke Nakamura seems to be winning the title tonight. Not sure. I don't know. We'll see. Following that, we had a WrestleMania rematch for the Women's Tag Team Championships with the Kabuki Warriors versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Now, didn't really care for this rematch. I guess it's understood that the Kabuki Warriors should have gotten a rematch, but very predictable that Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross were going to get the win. I was hoping that we were going to see the Iconics. Where have the Iconics been? They should be in this tag team title scene, but they're not. Later in the night, we see Carmella and Dana Brooke challenge Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross to the tag titles next week, and they accept. So we are going to get that match next week, and I'm hoping that Carmella and Dana Brooke go into that match a little vicious. A little bit more vicious than usual, especially if they're going to challenge Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross after they said that they feel invincible with these tag titles. But end of the day, I'm just hoping that the Iconics get their titles back. Next up, we have a match between Tucker and Dolph Ziggler. Now, Dolph Ziggler and Sonya Deville come out and they rant about the footage that got them caught last week. And then Tucker comes out and shows off pictures of Otis and Mandy Rose and says that he wants to beat Dolph Ziggler's ass. So they have a match together. Dolph Ziggler won, but it was just a filler in time. I think it would have been much better if we would have gotten a video update with Otis and Mandy. Obviously, they are off and they are just enjoying their Friday night together, finally. But I just would have enjoyed if we had an update. It seems like everyone was pretty happy that they finally got together, and a lot of people tuned in when they did their Instagram live this week. So I would have preferred a little video update on the couple, not a match between his best friend and the guy that he just beat. And his best friend's just beating him up, but then he's losing. It doesn't make Tucker look so good. Now, following that, we had a little time for the dirt sheet, and we see The Miz and John Morrison joking about WrestleMania, and this segment started off so strong for me. Their jokes about the Boneyard match and getting buried, and Strowman actually being a champion and showing up, and John Cena in the Firefly Funhouse match. It was really good for me. It started off very strong, and then they did their stupid singing, and I was out of it. Completely checked out. Like, that whole thing needs to go. Thankfully, the Usos come out to interrupt that awful song, but the New Day also come out, and they both say that they deserve title shots again. So next week, we are getting Jey Uso versus The Miz versus Big E for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. And we wonder why the Revival left. Now, following that, we had an NXT call-up, and the Forgotten Sons are called up to SmackDown, and they have a match with Lucha House Party. And this match turned out exactly how you would predict. Lucha House Party did not win. The Forgotten Sons won. And soon, we will also forget them. And following that, we had a segment with Bayley and Sasha Banks, and they talk about their victory at WrestleMania, but Tamina comes out and interrupts and says that Bayley didn't actually beat her, and it took all of them to take Tamina out. Bayley then says, Tamina, if you want a title shot so bad, then you can have a match with my best friend, Sasha Banks, next week. And if you beat her, then I will give you a shot for the title. And Sasha Banks doesn't look too happy about that. Tamina does not deserve a title shot, and it's very clear, but it's nice to see that she isn't immediately going away after WrestleMania, and hopefully we can use a little bit more of her in the future. However, everything that Sasha Banks and Bayley are doing in this segment is gold. I really like their chemistry together, and I like how everything is playing out. It seems like eventually we are going to get the blowout. Maybe Sasha Banks will turn full heel on Bayley, but everything that they're doing is so good, and I'm very entertained by them. And finally, we have the main event, Braun Strowman versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the Universal Championship, and this match was okay. I was definitely looking forward to Shinsuke Nakamura winning the championship, but dreams do not come true. And alas, Braun Strowman is victorious in this win. However, Bray Wyatt interrupts Braun Strowman's victory with the Firefly Funhouse, and he says that he built Braun Strowman and he wants an apology for abandoning him and the family, the Bray Wyatt family. Braun isn't giving him an apology, so Bray Wyatt says he brought him into this world and he can take him out. Braun Strowman does not care, and then he says that he is ready to let him in. And Braun Strowman is totally poking the bear, and I love it. And that's it. Those are my overall thoughts of this week's SmackDown. So what do we think about the post WrestleMania SmackDown? Well, if I were to give this episode a grade, I would give it a D+. There were some good things about this SmackDown, but overall it was just a highlight on what happened at WrestleMania, which is understood. We got one call up from NXT, not a very exciting call up, but alas, it was a decent episode of SmackDown. My pros for this episode is the Sasha Banks and Bayley segment. That was very entertaining. The Firefly Funhouse, you've got my attention fully. I really want to see that match between Braun Strowman and The Fiend. And the last pro would definitely have to be Shinsuke Nakamura getting title shots, because I really like seeing Shinsuke Nakamura getting title shots. He deserves it. The cons this week is definitely Dolph Ziggler versus Tucker. The singing that's happening during the dirt sheet, that honestly, that needs to go. It's really bad. Please stop doing that. And the last con would have to be that NXT call-up. That was very, very underwhelming. Although, I mean, yeah, there's no audience. I mean, how underwhelming could you get? But wow, Forgotten Sons really forgot them. And that's it. Those are my overall thoughts on this week's episode of SmackDown. But what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below, and like this video and share it with all your friends. While you're down there, you can smash that subscribe button to Wrestling with Regret. And while you're down there, you can scroll a little more to the description box and you can find the link to my channel, Queen of the Ring. You could also follow me on the socials. I'm at _Queen of the Ring on Instagram, and I'm at a Queen of the Ring on Twitter. As always, guys, my name is Alex, your self-proclaimed Queen of the Ring, and I will see you guys next week for another episode of the SmackDown Review. Bye, guys!